Hey, sixth grade. So welcome to Visual Art. This 9 weeks we are going to be studying about the elements of art and how they're used in works of art. So you're going to need a sheet of white paper. It's okay if you don't have white paper, notebook paper is fine, and a pencil. As I'm going along here with the notes, I need you to take the notes down too. It'll help you remember how to do this, and you'll be able to include the drawings that we're adding. Anytime during this video, if you feel I'm going too fast, please pause it or rewind. You have full control of that. So we're going to start studying our elements of art. There are 7 elements of art, but we're going to spread that out throughout the 9 weeks, so we're not doing them all at one time. With the elements of art, they are the building blocks. All works of art is going to utilize one or more of the elements of art. The first one is going to be line. Line is a continuous mark made on a surface by a moving tool. Now your pencil is the tool and you are making marks on your paper, and if we look we see evidence of lines. This right here is a nice vertical line. The slant on the Y right there is a nice diagonal line. The C right here is a curved line. So we can see that evidence there, which leads us up to our 5 kinds of line. The very first one, and you might remember these from elementary school. The very first one is a vertical line. A vertical line is a straight line, and it goes straight up and down. Straight lines are static. If it's a straight vertical, it does not move. So think of it like a lamp post or a stop sign post. It's not supposed to move, so it's boring. The next line is what we call a horizontal line. Horizontal lines are also straight lines, and they go straight across or side to side. So let's look at that again. If something's just laying there flat and it's not moving, it's static, again, it's going to be boring. So vertical and horizontal lines are actually kind of boring, but very sturdy lines. The third line is a diagonal line. It is also a straight line, but it slants. So let's look at that. If we have a line that's slanting, it looks like it's going to fall over. And since it looks like it's going to fall over, we have some action and some excitement. So it's kind of like if you're walking down the hallway, nice and neat and vertical, and somebody trips you, let's say hopefully by accident, and you start to fall down, your body is slanting down. Think about that action. The body is falling down. Think about what everybody's doing, because if you're walking straight and then suddenly you trip and your body starts to fall, we have some action going on here. Now, I would be shocked. I'd be like, oh no, they're going to get hurt. Some people might be laughing. But if we look, we can see that we were straight, boring. You got tripped, you start falling down, your body goes diagonal, and then it goes flat. Once it's flat like that, and you're flat on the ground, you know, it's horizontal. Is all the action and excitement over? Yes, because that person is now on the ground. So again, it is boring. Okay, so vertical, horizontal, the action is right here with that diagonal. Our fourth line is going to be curved. A curved line is a line that bends. So if I have a squiggle, if I bring that into a spiral, if I just draw a C, we know that these lines bend. But let's think about that. You might have read a story once somewhere that said the girl with the long flowing hair. I can imagine that she has wavy hair. curved lines are supposed to be calming, soothing, relaxing. Maybe you've taken a piece of hair before and you've twirled it in your finger and it just kind of relaxes you a bit. So curved lines are calming. The fifth line is completely different. These are zigzag lines. A zigzag line is a joining diagonals. Now let's think for a second. We already know that diagonal lines look like they're going to fall over. They look like there's some action and excitement, but we have joining diagonals. So if I have this right here, if I have a Z right here, we have action, excitement, and confusion. So maybe you've played that game before, pinball, where you pull back the lever and the ball goes around like this, doot, 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 ding, 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 ding. And if you're not very careful and you're not watching that ball closely and you don't hit the paddles in time, you're going to lose the game. So zigzag lines are confusing. With these 5 kinds of lines, you're going to hear us refer to them often throughout the 9 weeks. We want a vertical line to always be straight up and down. You want a horizontal line always straight across. If it's vertical and you got it slanting a little bit, it's now a diagonal line. This is going to be really important when we start to do 1-point linear perspective later in the 9 weeks when we do that room drawing. So we need to know these lines. This is going to lead us up to our first project that we're going to end up doing. So let's talk a little bit about 2 different art styles involving these lines right here. And you can keep going on the same piece of paper. So our very first style that we want to study is called non-objective art. Let's look closely at this word. Non-objective art, I see the word no, and I see the word object. So non-objective art. A lot of people confuse this with abstract. Non-objective art is not abstract. Non-objective art is artwork that has no recognizable object. Okay? It is artwork about nothing. Okay? It has no meaning. It is artwork that uses lines, shapes. It could use forms. It could use value, color, texture, but it has no recognizable object. So for an example, if I had this right here, and I came in and I decided to put some lines like this, and I'm going to cross some lines here. I'm going to put a little square there, over here. That has no recognizable objects. That's not my cat. That's not my husband. It's not a vase full of flowers. It's just lines and shapes. So we see artwork like this a lot in doctor's offices. Maybe if you've gone to the dentist, orthodontist, you might have seen something like that. It's just shapes, lines and shapes. So if I had this right here, and I decided I wanted to put lots of circles in here, a little circle here, okay, again, this has no meaning. That is not a face. It is nothing that we recognize. It's not a car. It's just circles right there. When you were younger, we all did this. We all did a little scribble. Sometimes we do this when we're a little bored just to relax or calm down. But if we look, again, this has no recognizable object. It's just a scribble. It's using lines. You may have heard of the artist Jackson Pollock. He threw paint. Okay, he did this drip work and would throw paint. His paintings are non-objective. They're not abstract. So let's go ahead and talk about abstract art because we do need to know the difference. And remember, you can pause, rewind anytime you need to. Abstract art is artwork that has a recognizable object that has been manipulated. Let's look at this word here, manipulated. It could mean that it is changed, altered, different, maybe chopped up. Could be good old messed up. So think about if something's been manipulated, okay? This piece of paper right here, it's a rectangle. So if I tear it, it's been manipulated. If I crinkle it, wad it up into a ball, it's been manipulated. So let's look at that. And now let's think about that in artwork. If I was to draw a picture of my husband, don't tell him about this, but let's say, here's his face. He's starting to lose some hair, so he likes to spike the front. So let's say here's his hair. Here's an ear. Woo, there's an ear. Does that one look bigger? Here's an eyebrow. Here's his eye. I always said he's got a big nose. So let's give him that big old nose right there. Here's his mouth. Okay, so this is something we recognize. It's supposed to look like a human. Hopefully nobody looks like this. When we look at that right there, we can see that it is representing a person, but that's not what a real person would look like. So if I have this right here, let's see if you guys can guess what this is, and you'll get it. I'm going to draw 3 little lines right here, and I'm going to put a triangle. I'm going to fill it in dark. I'm going to put some curved lines right here, a little bit of a shape right there. Now, this right here, none of these lines are connecting. That's not connecting. That's not connecting. But you probably have already guessed that this is a pencil. Now, it's not a real pencil. It does not look like a real pencil, but we get the illusion that this is a pencil. So it is abstract. If I have this right here, I want to draw a triangle. And I'm going to put a triangle up here and a triangle here. Here's a little diamond. You might already be guessing. Let's see. Some of you might say that looks like a cat. You might say it looks like a rat. Maybe, I don't know how many people would actually call this a dog, but it does look like an animal. Now, no animal looks like this. This is an abstract. All I did was use various shapes, squiggle line over here. So you can see that we've created an abstract. What I want you to do before we begin our first project, which is coming up, I want you to practice drawing an abstract. Maybe go with a face. Draw yourself as an abstract. Draw a sister, a brother, your mom, your dad, an uncle, grandparent, but draw an abstract. The great thing about this, if it looks funny, if it looks messed up, it's going to be abstract. So you can't go wrong with that. But that's going to get us ready for when I go over the rubric, which is our directions and guidelines for our first project. So if you have any questions about this, please email me. And again, you can rewind, pause the video. If you thought I went too fast, okay, you have full control of that. And I'll look forward to talking to you guys again when we do our next video. Bye.